Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Conn Man Sports Corner Live on the I-95 Sports and Entertainment Network, Blackjack TV. I am your host, the Conn Man. Today, I have with me two very special guests, Megan Price and Lexi Barros. How y'all doing?
Doing really well. How are you?
Lexi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Hold on one second. Hold on. Uh, you know, first, before we do anything, I wanted to wish my producer Bobby Blackjack. His mother was in the hospital. She's doing well now. She's resting, and I want to give a shout out to my producer Bobby B. I'm glad she's on the road to recovery, and I'm very happy about that. Uh, what I want to begin with, ladies, is first of all, I want to talk about how I came up with the idea of having Megan on the show. Lexi, what you may or may not know is Megan and I have a mutual friend. His name is Brian Snow. He has a pretty good sports podcast. And like during the show, he said he was going to have a special guest. And it ended up being Megan Price. And just listening to her, I was totally like overwhelmed. I was like in shock. I said, I got to get this girl on my show. I was like, unbelievable. And then Lex, you came on my other show, and then I had a little surprise for you at the end of the show. I mentioned that I was going to try to hook you up with Megan, and now we're all here together. But then again, I wanted to state the fact that last night I was watching Megan's show, and she does something that I have not seen anyone do. And by that I mean, Megan, you were talking about the NBA, and then you would refer to someone who was covering like the Lakers. Then you
Right.
would get up and go cover someone else who was covering the Utah,
hmm
and then someone who was
Yeah, that's
covering
pretty
the East
cool.
Coast.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone do anything like that. So,
Yeah, I got to give
Megan,
credit to Alex Fleming. He actually came up with the idea. It's called the carousel. And it started with the NFL carousel, and I was the Dallas rep for them, or will continue to be. And when the NBA carousel came around, I thought he was going to be the host, and I was just going to be the Spurs rep. And he just said he was too busy, and could I host? And it kind of took off from there.
well, I tell you what, that is phenomenal. Uh, I, I was just like in awe of your show, and I recommend that everybody who's tuning in, please turn on to her show. And how can they check you out?
Just add me on Facebook. The carousel is on Monday nights at 8 Eastern. And then I have another show called The Sip Off. And I am the creator and the host of that show. And that comes on actually tonight at 8 Eastern as well.
Y'all better tune in for that. Now, my girl Lexi, what's going on? Let the viewers know exactly,
What's up?
what's going on with you. What's going on with you? And um, even though I know, but let the viewers know exactly, where, how it started and where it's taking you, and what your future ambitions are.
um, well, it started when I was younger. Like I told you, it's always been a part of my family. Um, a lot of my family plays basketball. But just being out in New Bedford, and a lot of people in the community played too. So started in United Front when I was younger, boys club, YMCA, and it grew from there. In middle school, high school was very good. I went to Bedford High, and then I went to CCRI, Community College of Rhode Island, for 2 years, and I went to a school in Canada for a year. Um, and then when I came back, I just started playing for my national team. Then I went to Portugal for months, came back because of COVID. That really messed us up a little bit. Um, and now I'm playing for my Cape Verdean team still. We have a tournament coming up. I'm leaving in like 2 weeks. And I just recently signed to a semi-pro team out in Boston called the New England Trailblazers. So I'm excited to start with that team. That should be a lot of fun and a great
And now
opportunity.
you mentioned the Cape Verde Islands. I'm sure our viewers
Mhm.
probably don't know where that is.
Say that again.
I'm sure our viewers probably don't know where the Cape Verde Islands are.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. They always ask me. I
I'm
say,
sure.
right. I just say like a little. I love Africa. You know what I mean? Um, 10 different islands. Our main one is Praia. Been there a few times. I call Cape Verde my second home because I love it so much.
Very cool.
Just
And now,
the
I know you.
people.
Go ahead.
Are good.
We're having a little difficulty hearing you. Uh, the people about your experiences in the Cape Verde Island.
It's amazing. I love it. The people there, they know they can tell when some people are not from Cape Verde and they're just American. Like a lot of people can tell, but
Yeah.
some of them they open their arms for you. You know what I'm saying? They bring you in as family and they just met you. Um, it's very fun out there. Um, like we'll get out of practice and we'll see a whole bunch of kids outside waiting for us to greet, give us high fives. Like it was one time we came out and it was a big line of kids and we just walked out the gym and high fived all of them. And it was amazing. We get a lot of support there. When we played there 2 years ago, the gym was packed. It was truly an amazing experience. Um, yeah, it's just amazing. I love it every time I go.
And so they're
Here
supportive
in New
of
Bedford, we're
basketball
so
there.
proud of you. Excuse me, Megan.
I said, so they're supportive of
Yes,
basketball
there.
there. That's very cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Now, Megan,
And
what
we
I
don't we
wanted
don't get it
to the
much, you
reason,
know.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna fall back because this ain't about me; it's about you guys. But I want to know, Megan, from your vast experience and knowledge, I would kind of like maybe you could possibly let Lexi know what it's like, what exactly what you do, and um, your observation of the WNBA and things of that nature that maybe could benefit her.
Okay. Okay. Well, I got to shout out the WNBA this year. I think they've done a lot to help improve their viewership. They've gone into some partnerships with Amazon Prime and Google and Facebook Live. A lot of games are on Facebook Live this season, and I love that because everybody's on Facebook.
Hmm.
It's the biggest social media out there,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
that's
Right.
great partnerships. And then also they added the Commissioner's Cup, which is it's still going to be the championship, but there's a $500,000 prize to the team that wins the championship.
Woo,
Right. So,
woo, woo.
hoping that brings some viewership up. And,
Yeah.
I personally cover the Wings. I love the Wings, and, they're the closest team to me. It's really hard because, the way the WNBA is now, at one point they had 18 teams, right? And it has since decreased. There's only 12 teams. And so, like, if you look at a
Yes.
map of where all the teams are, generally they're on the California coast or they're up
Hmm.
north. And so, like, where I'm at in Amarillo,
Okay.
Texas, is like the middle of the country, basically a little south, but basically the middle of the country. And so, I mean, my team is 6 hours away from me. And so I don't get to go to every
Wow.
game. But one of the benefits of COVID has been that, we get to do Zoom stuff like left and right. And so, I've been able to talk to Charlie Collier. I've been able to talk to Alicia Gray and Enrique and even
Wow.
Coach Vicky Johnson. I've been able to talk to her. So, I could get you in contact with their media rep and you could possibly, go into talking to them and you could be able to share your videos that way.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
That is fantastic.
Good.
We're gonna get into the WNBA in a little while, because I gotta pick your brain. Obviously, I gotta pick your brain. But we're gonna get
I
into
want
that
to
in
hear a
a
lot
little
about
bit.
that.
Yeah, wait to hear her. But what I guess what I want, I don't know. I guess this is your forum. I don't know why my phone keeps ringing. Um, I want you guys to talk about you know let you talk to her, ask her some questions that you might be interested in, and maybe she could help you out. This guys, it's not about me. I got a big mouth already, so it's about you.
So, where does your story of basketball start? You said your family plays a lot of basketball. So like
Mhm.
what started for you? What brought you in the game?
Well, honestly, my dad played he played a lot. He's the one that got us into the game too.
Mhm.
And my uncle, he used to play in the NBA. I started off doing camps and stuff with him when we were younger. And then that progressed to me like just falling in love with the game, like it's always been my life, but I'm making it more, you know what I'm saying? Like I just want more, especially on the court and off the court. Um, I do a lot of coaching now, so that's helping me learn things that I didn't, you know what I'm saying, like in the game. You know what I
Right.
mean? Um, but yeah, high school was great. That's when I really knew I wanted to play. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Um, just like being a freshman, doing both, doing JV and varsity. That was a crazy experience. And I just wanted to keep going, elevating up. Um, yeah, that's I don't know, basically.
And so, once you got out of high school, where did you go from there?
I went to Community College of Rhode Island for 2 years.
Okay.
Um, my my first year, we went to nationals,
Wow.
and then my second year, I kind of fell off because people quit the team and stuff like that. But it was still a good season. We had all guards. I was playing center, so it was pretty fun, different experience. And then after CCRI, I went to Canada for a year for school, and played basketball also. It didn't go so well, so I don't really talk about it either. But it was definitely a learning experience. I wouldn't take it back because I definitely learned a lot from it. Um, but then after that, I just came back and started playing with my Cape Verdean team again.
Okay.
So
And so, have you found in your journey overseas or in different countries, like, is women's ball perceived better than it is here in the United States? Because I feel like
no, it's the same thing.
same thing.
I I feel
Really?
I feel like it's the same. It's the same thing. Like it's not. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna say it's not accepted, but like I feel like some people could care less about women's basketball
Right.
just because we
No, I
can't we
agree.
can't dunk. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the main reason. Maybe one of the
Right.
main
Yeah,
reasons.
absolutely, it
You
is.
know what I mean? Um, but there's a lot of talented females and women out there. It's just we just need the respect that we deserve. Like I feel like women work 10 times harder than men do. No offense, Mike,
Absolutely.
but you know what I mean.
Hey, it's true. It's true.
It's
I
just that's
agree.
just how I feel. Like, and I feel like we need better opportunities to showcase ourselves. You know, like even when we go and play at the park, we don't get respected.
Mm,
Like, and then we play against guys and we literally destroy them, and then that's when they want to respect us. But it
right.
shouldn't take me to beat you 21-8 for
Right.
you guys to realize that we're athletes also. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
I don't know.
I
It frustrates me a lot. It really does.
I when I started my group, it was or my show. I started the show first, and then I started the group after that. And I was a part of some other sports groups, and I just always found like crazy posts about the WNBA, how it's
Hmm.
not entertaining. Oh, they don't dunk.
Right.
And you have players like Brittany Griner who dunks all the time. Candace Parker dunks.
Oh
Like
my
I mean,
God, love them.
it's not of the same frequency of men dunking, but I honestly
Right.
I don't want to watch the same ball game. I don't want to watch the same
Mm-mm.
product that the NBA is. Like I don't want to see that for women. Like I want to see what women can do differently.
Can do. Right.
And so you said you're a center. How tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
You're 5'4" and you're a center?
Five. No, just it was just for
Oh, for that
that
season.
season.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. You must have
Yeah.
had a growth spurt that year.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
so
for
what
the
position do you play now?
I play point guard, and shooting guard. I'm trying to work on my point guard skills. Like I played point guard my whole life, but I'm naturally a shooter. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I just have to. I'm starting to work on knowing where everyone is on the court, like like a Chris Paul kind of player. You know what I'm saying? Even Skylar Diggins. You know what
Mm-hmm. Oh,
her
I like
too. Yeah, their team is amazing. Like,
Man, okay, so they
oh
came.
my god.
I cover the Wings, and they beat us without Diana Taurasi.
Well,
Like
that team is
the
they're
stat,
stacked.
yeah,
Like, and you have Derek Fisher as your coach. Like, I
right,
wish,
yeah, definitely.
right?
I really like Vicky Johnson though. You know, I've had a great experience with
Hmm.
her, and one of the first questions I ever asked her was, what is the difference in having some fans in the stand because this season isn't the bubble." And it might be limited fans. I know California is a little different, so they have less fans, but we're here in Texas, and so it's not at full capacity, but probably like at half. And so
Hmm.
I asked her, what's that difference maker that the fans make? And she called it the sixth man, that cheering
Yep,
for
hype man. Yep.
and so you feel the same
Hmm.
way?
Yeah, I try to be my own hype man though. Like, I'm the loudest on the court. That's always my goal. Um, to get and you know what I'm saying, get people involved. Just be vocal, offense and defense.
Right.
Um, yeah, I try to bring that energy. I'm clapping in people's faces, like just everything.
Well, I think you're doing the right thing coaching. That's going to give you that different perspective on the floor, and just
Hmm.
like you called it, the floor general, like Chris Paul, any team he's on, should get a nomination for coach of the year as well. Because there's no
No,
way,
seriously.
there's no way Billy
Uh,
Donovan should have got a nomination for coach of the year. The only way it happened is
right,
Chris Paul was on the squad.
right. I
You know something?
completely agree.
What I want to add a little bit, and then I'm on my business. But I played point guard in college as well, and I don't know if you ladies are going to believe me, but we had one offensive play, just one offensive play.
Oh
But
my goodness.
there were 75 options off that one play.
That one
And
play,
what you had to
right?
do is we the offense in every way, shape, or form. So you really couldn't scout us. But I mean, as far as the key I can tell you about Lexa, the key is communication, and
Yep.
not only knowing what your role is, it's what's knowing everybody else's role is. And
Right.
also learning the fact that if you run a play and it doesn't go well, what's Plan B? What's Plan C? I
Hmm.
find that being very effective. Once you
Yes.
know the offense that one, like I'm gonna bore you all to death, but I'm old as dirt, as you all know. But anyway, to this 2021, I still remember my offense from 1978-79. I remember every option because it was so embedded in my mind because I
Hmm.
knew that I couldn't beat you with my quickness or my speed or my leaping ability, but I'm gonna beat you with my mind,
No,
and
right.
that was effective for me anyway. Now,
Hmm.
getting back to you, I hope that you take that, with a grain of hope that, you being a point guard, you are like Tom Brady. You got to know exactly what
Yeah.
you're doing on the court and what everybody else is doing. That's going to make you a better player. It's going to make you more confident as well,
Yep.
I think.
Yeah. I'm working on it and trying to build my
I
confidence
know you
too.
are. I
Just
know you
being more
are. Now,
aggressive on the court. Yep.
talk a little bit about what you do working with Brian Rudolph and, stuff that you're doing at that facility as well.
We do group trainings. We also do individual trainings. I like both doing both, but I love groups because you can really get to see and help these kids with the fundamentals of the game, like the basics, because that's some of them really need it. It's like you're not just gonna come down and pull a 3-pointer, right? You got to learn
Right,
how to
right.
go by your defender and just pass and cut basically, or even do a regular dribble, a regular in and out. You know what I mean? It's little things that I mainly focus on, and that's what we do at the group too. And we like to challenge them, um, do different things, like make their mind go a little crazy. Because in the game, they're not going to be able to stop and be like, okay, coach, what do I do here? Like we have to let them do that, figure it out. And
Exactly. Exactly.
we also do scrimmaging too. Like we do elementary groups on Friday from 6 to 7. Then we do um, middle school from 7 to 8:30, and I love that because we can see what we need to work on during group also, and we can see their progress that they've been how hard they've been working, like what they've been working
Right.
on, and we like change up. I change up the rules when we play so they can learn different things like pass and cut, handoffs, screens, little things like that. And we always make it a competition so they can, and of course, learn how to lose. Because I feel like when these kids
Very
lose, they
important.
get very
Yeah.
upset,
Yeah.
and
Very important.
I'm just like I'm telling them like we're not here for the wins and losses. We're here to teach you, and we're here to have fun. Like you can't get mad because we're changing up the teams and we're changing up rules. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's all
Yeah.
a learning experience for them and us as coaches too. You know what I mean?
You know something? I understand. I want to go off topic for a second because I want to pick both your brains as far as the situation with Osaka and the mental health issue. I want to know what your take on that as far as mental health and how it can relate. I mean, this young girl, I mean, she's the financially, she makes more money than damn near everybody else. But uh, never mind her being physically fit, she has to be mentally fit as well. Now, Megan, during your, everything that you do you ever come across something like that?
I mean, I suffer from anxiety myself, and you know,
Wow.
I and I had a bout of depression after my dad passed away. But
Oh,
I think it's absolutely real, and you should do what you need to do to take care of yourself. And there was a piece that I did on Shamik Holzclaw, and she had some mental health issues as well. And so I think verbalizing that is something that's so important because I think it affects more people than we have any idea about. So I think, she's going to have put her mental health first. Money doesn't fix everything. Just because she's a superstar
not at
doesn't
all.
mean she's not a human being.
Right.
Now, how did you handle that, Megan? How did you handle your depression?
Um, when I just really allowed myself to feel it because I think when you ignore it, it's going to come up in your life in another area not in a positive way. And so if you allow yourself to feel it and just know that it's okay to feel these things. And, luckily I was able to get through it without medication, but friends and family were super important always still, like I say, I'm not depressed now, but, I still get anxiety. I get super busy and sometimes one thing that'll happen is like I get insomnia. The other day I had 4 shows and I stayed up till like 3 in the morning because my mind was just going, going, going. So it's
Yeah,
just, you know,
Hmm.
you, I think talking about it is really important.
that's that's kind of the reason why I brought it up because Lexi, as you get further in your career, you're going to become more famous or more uh, looked upon to be that role model. And sometimes that's a lot of
Hmm.
pressure to ask someone to handle
Yeah.
that. And I kind of wanted to bring that out so you know and that you can recognize it if it does happen and that you're able to handle it. I felt that was kind of
Right.
important. You know what I mean? So, um, is there anything else you guys want to say before I bring up the WNBA and we can really get into it? Anything you guys want to say? This is for you guys. So, anything else you
Okay.
want to bring up, Lexi? Anything you want to ask her? Or hey, she's the best, as you're gonna
Um.
find out in about
Right
five
there.
minutes.
Not right now. I'm waiting to get into the talk about the league.
Sure.
So
Okay. All right, you get ready because she's the best. All right,
I'm
now
ready.
we're gonna. Well, first of all, what I want to bring up, you guys, is that uh, the the financial differences with the WNBA and the NBA.
Hmm.
I'm just reading. I did a little homework. ESPN pays 12 million a year to broadcast the WNBA. You know, uh, and you know how much they pay to broadcast the NBA, and I think that's one thing. And then ESPN, they eliminated some of the games. Now they only televise 25 games. That's the negative part. The positive part is the fact that they were on ABC, which I find really a good thing. You know, I
Yeah.
want to maybe talk about that a little bit. What do you think about that, Megan? Since you cover it, so you know way more than what I know.
Um, I think that the WNBA is doing the right thing and looking at other avenues of streaming. Like going with Amazon Prime was huge. Going with Facebook, I think, was the best thing they could have ever done because Facebook has billions of users. And so it's something that they can get it out to a different level. And so anytime I see that they have a game streaming, I make sure I share it. And so hopefully other people are doing the same thing. And I think mainly for me is I just talk about it all the time. I talk about the WNBA all the
Yes.
time. And, it used
Yes.
to be when I started out, I had a lot of people, a lot of clash of people not wanting to even talk about the WNBA. And then now the number of people that I can talk to that about the WNBA has increased by tons. So, even when you feel like things are negative, just keep bringing up the positive. Now, I mean, I do think that you have to bring up the negative with the positive so that you can address the negative and fix it.
Right.
And so,
Exactly.
you can't sugarcoat it. You gotta be real. But definitely always keep talking not only about yourself but the WNBA and just keep pushing it forward. But I really like what they've done, and I think because as far as streaming goes, that's the way to go now because COVID changed our whole lives. And
Yes.
so as long as they continue to push forward with different streaming avenues, I think the league is absolutely going to grow.
I agree 100%. Now, Megan and Lexi, you guys don't know, but prior to uh, Google and LinkedIn and all of that stuff, they considered me the trivia king. I'm sure you will find that out. But anyway, I have a trivia question for both of you. Who made the first basket in the WNBA?
Ooh, good one.
Mm.
Dang.
I'm not even sure about
Uh-oh,
that
I
one.
got I got the queen.
Oh,
I got the queen.
yeah.
Dang.
Right?
I can tell you who I was drafted first, but I don't
Right.
know
Can
who
I
made
Google it?
That's good. Well, Lexi, just to give you a little feedback, this year is the 25th year of the WNBA. This is year number 25,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
like Megan said, it started with 18 teams. Now there are 12, and
12.
the individual who hit the first shot, like we know in the NBA, Chris Ford hit the first, but you probably don't know either. But anyway, he hit the first 3-point shot. But the person who hit the first shot in WNBA history, her name is Penny Toller. She is a graduate of Long Beach State. She was All American, and she played for the Los Angeles Sparks. So that was the first person to hit that. But that's my little trivia thing. Anyway,
Very
getting
cool.
back to the WNBA. The way the NBA WNBA is going right now, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, we have the Western Conference, which is what Megan covers right now, but we got the Eastern Conference, and kind of a local team is doing rather well right now. That would be Connecticut. And what I
Hmm.
like to do, Megan, because I'm going to pick your brain, I'm just going to name some names, and you can tell me what you think about them. Um, Kennedy Carter.
I think, I'm not sure who that is actually. You said Kennedy who?
He plays for Atlanta Dream.
Oh, she plays for the Atlanta Dream. You know what? The Atlanta Dream, and I can't speak on her specifically because I actually didn't get to watch that game. It was the weekend of my birthday, but
Okay.
they played the Dream, and the Dream beat the Wings by their biggest gap. And so I feel like last year they didn't finish great. And this year, I'm just surprised that they are actually in fourth. And even with all the drama that went on with them during the off season, but what a positive start for them.
Yes, that is correct. Now, there's one person who is tearing up the WNBA, and I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm probably going to pronounce the name wrong, so forgive me if I do. Uh, John Quell Jones.
Jonquel Jones. I really think that she's brought a different aspect to her game. Her speed and her ball handling skills is something completely different than what we've seen.
And she's putting up double numbers. She's averaging right now
Right,
20.6 and 10 rebounds a game. I mean,
right.
she is
And so
phenomenal.
She's definitely one of those that you have to watch directly close to the rim, and just in your face within in that lane coverage.
And me being old as dirt, I can relate to all the old players who are still doing well in the WNBA right now. And Sylvia Foles, to me, she's amazing.
I love her, and she's on a team that's going through a lot right now. They're kind of like my Spurs. They're not used to going through tough times like this because they've just really been a dynasty within the WNBA. There's three teams that are tied for the most championships, and they're one of them. Or it's the
Right.
Houston Comets, the Seattle Storm, and then the Lynx as well. And so they're just one of those teams that they've always been so good, but they're going through a transition. At least they still have that veteran because Sylvia is so good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they're 1-4 right now. It's
Right.
but the year's only just begun. And another person who I think has had a great career thus far, and I'm sure she will continue, is Tina Charles.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
The possibilities are open for her because she hasn't even like put in all that. She hasn't put in. She's still kind of new in the league, and so the possibilities are just wide open for her.
Lexi, she's averaging 26.7 points per game as we speak. And
That's goals right there.
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
you know what I mean. And
Hmm.
she's doing her thing. And then of course, uh, my girl, who I think speaks for consistency, is Brianna Stewart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Um, she's just
she's a
Yeah, I
problem.
mean,
Oh my
she
gosh.
is a problem. She's
for
averaging
sure.
23 points a game and almost 10 rebounds a game. So I mean, she comes with it. I mean that Seattle team. And right now they're playing well. They're 6-1 right now, and
Right.
they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough.
That's a good
One
team
thing I want to
too.
ask, yeah, like Lexi, you were talking about how Phoenix is stacked, but right now they're only 4-3. I don't get it. Maybe you can enlighten
PT
us, Megan.
DT's hurt. He's hurt. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? To me, DT is just, she's the GOAT. Like, she's going to, whenever she retires, which hopefully, not this year, but she could do it right now. She could retire and she has the most accomplishments out of anybody that's ever played the game. So, that type of leadership, while she's still on the sidelines, it's not the same thing as, because to me, she's the CP3 of the WNBA, just
Oh,
the way she is,
yeah,
man.
definitely, definitely. Um, right now, who do you think is MVP? It's kind of early, but who do you think is the front runners for MVP?
You got to put Sabrina in there. She recorded her first triple double.
Oh, we're going to
Um,
talk about her. Oh, we're going to
oh
talk
yeah,
about her.
Sabrina is something special. I love Arike. She has a couple of records that are still ongoing right now, and she is the reigning scoring champ, and she plays for my team. So just love her. She played at Notre Dame. She comes from a legendary school also. So I love watching her play. But another girl on our team who's actually with Team USA right now, so we're missing her, is Alicia Gray, and I love watching her play. You want to watch some great shooting? Watch her.
Matter of fact, well, they had her. They had her on here too. Now, what's up with my girl? I don't hear too much about her. Elena Deladon. What's going on with her?
She had back surgery. Okay, so what happened first is in 2019, she was the MVP. She had an amazing season. But what not
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows is Deladon also has Lyme disease. And so it is something that she's never been able
Oh,
to get rid of. And so she was unable to play in the bubble just for her own health. And since then, she had back surgery in December. So she is active on the roster. She just has not played yet. I'm sure they're taking their time with her because I mean it's Deladon. She's great. You don't want to rush it.
Right.
anything you want to add, Lexi?
Nope. I'm just taking all information.
Okay, well,
Mhm.
I have a hard time, pronouncing names, so I'm gonna call Sabrina Si. You heard about Allen Iverson? I'm gonna call her
I
Si.
like that. I
I don't
can't
know if
say
you
her
know
last
about
name
her.
either.
I have. I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna do that. But anyway, she was a 2020 number one pick by the New York Liberty. As Megan stated, she recorded her first triple double, one of the youngest ones to ever do that. The former Pac-12 Freshman of the Year and the USBWA National Freshman of the Year. And on May 15th, she hit a buzzer beater against the Indiana Fever on her way to a 25-point 11 assist game. Right now, she's presently averaging about 16 points a game, 6 assists a game, and 6 rebounds. And what's even more important, we discussed about the financial aspects about the NBA. We know they make most of the money overseas. We already know that.
Right.
And you know, she has paired with Lexi. You're gonna love this. She has paired with Kevin Durant, a business venture called the Boardroom. Megan, you familiar with this?
I'm not.
I got man. That's two I got on Megan. Yeah, she is.
You got me.
She is. She hooked up with Kevin Durant. Has been business venture called the Boardroom, which include. Matter of fact, if you guys watched the other day, she was on a commercial with Chris Paul, and
Hmm.
she's
The State Farm.
yes, State Farm and Nike. Um, she will become a strategic partner to 35 Ventures, giving her visible and access to venture capital partners and key
Oh.
stakeholders in the organization's network, while further growing her personal portfolio, which I think is great because that's going to not only influence her own portfolio, but also bring notice and credibility to the other female athletes that play in the WNBA as well, because she's going to expand her brand, which in turn is going to expand everybody else's brand. I think that's a
Absolutely.
very good thing. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, I love watching the WNBA because you know the NBA is more like freakish athletes. The WNBA is more fundamentally sound, and I just
Mhm.
like the concept of the way they play. You learn the basics. If you really want to know to play the game, you watch the basics. In the NBA, as you know, it's more spread out, penetrate, dish to the wing.
1-on-ones.
Big man
Like,
pops up to the top of the key, sets and
right.
pick. Maybe he rolls, maybe he doesn't.
Maybe he
Who knows?
doesn't.
It's. I mean, I love the NBA. Don't get me wrong, but I personally enjoy watching the WNBA, and I'm truly a fan. I was a fan way back when Cooper played, and I enjoy the game. I enjoy the players. You Sue Bird, how can you not? There's been so many great athletes that have played in the WNBA, and I'm just
Mhm.
so happy that it's getting more notoriety, and that's why I kind of wanted to do this show too, to spread the word that
Right.
WNBA is the place to be, man. Is to watch, and then listening to Megan gets me even more excited. You know what I mean? So, Megan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you think about the NBA the way it is going as far as today's game and anything that you could add, and what makes you such a fan of the game?
I grew up, well, when I was in 10, or when I was about 10 years old, I lived in a little town outside of Lubbock. And I was about 40 minutes away from the town that Cheryl Swoops grew up in. And about
Wow,
the time that she was winning her national championships, I was 11 or 12. And, it was just something like, to describe the towns, because, it's just, we're in the middle of nowhere down here pretty much. It's just kind of little cotton gin towns is what we call them. Like the town literally generates around the cotton gins and the
right,
farmers, and then that's just kind of the way of life there. And so to see Cheryl start, I mean, there was no WNBA when I first started playing basketball. Like the highest you could do was the national team, or hope to play
right,
overseas. And as a
right,
fan, we didn't have the internet then, and so you couldn't watch overseas games like that. Like we didn't know what was going on overseas. So the WNBA is just absolutely meant hope for someone who came from a town with little dirt roads. Like there was, Cheryl made it something that was like plausible, that you can go on and you can play professionally. And unfortunately I wasn't good enough to play professionally, but I've always watched basketball, and my dad was a sports writer while I was growing up, and so that's kind of what kind of got
wow.
me into the media aspect of it.
Okay,
And just for me now, like what the WNBA does and the way that the ladies are bringing attention to it. Um, I want to shout out the other people that bring attention to it. Like CJ McCollum takes his daughters to the Aces games all the time, and
Wow.
as these star players that are in the NBA, as they have daughters, as we've seen with Kobe Bryant, as they have daughters and they see how important the women's game is, and for it to be developed not only for your how it affects you, but how it affects women in general. Like it means a lot, and just to see it start coming to fruition, it's fabulous. I love it.
That's outstanding. That's truly is great. Now, Lexi, you know, what's your take on the WNBA? I mean, do you have a chance to watch it a lot at all?
Sometimes I try to catch as many games as I can. Um, I just love watching it, and now that I'm like really into it, I want to play with all of them. That's how I
Mhm.
feel. Um,
That's the attitude. That's
but
the proper attitude. That's what you want.
yeah, like Megan said, I'm glad it's getting noticed now because we really need it. Um, and mainly everything. Hopefully, it really starts to help, especially with the players now. Um, they need a chance too. You know what I mean? Um, so it's good that people are starting to notice that women can ball. Um, so I think it's great, and I can't
You know
wait
what
to continue to watch it.
Mhm.
I I hear definitely. You know what I think why it's great is because, as Megan stated when she was younger, there was really no
Right.
opportunities unless you went overseas. But the way
Mm-hmm.
that the WNBA is growing, which is going to expand to do other things, it gives
Mhm.
women another alternative. It gives them a hope to
Right.
go and continue their career,
Continue to
which
play.
is something
Mm-hmm.
they love.
Yeah. Like I
So I
coach.
think it's a great thing.
I also coach girls AAU. So we usually, but my team is, I have some fifth graders, I have sixth graders, and seventh graders. Um, how I coach them, I'm trying to make sure they have a lot of energy. Like if you're not, if you don't have the ball in your hand, you're cheering on for your teammates. And I try to make it as fun as possible because I want them to come back too. You know what I'm saying? And I want them to love the game. That's my main goal because I want them to keep playing. I want them to go to high school and play basketball. Eventually, go to college and play basketball. You know what I mean? Um,
That's
so I'm very
awesome.
big on that. Just trying to help them learn and love the game at the same time.
That's
So,
phenomenal. Now, Lexi, where do you see yourself going? I mean, y'all, you just signed a contract with the New England Trailblazers. Where do you
yeah.
see yourself going?
Honestly, I have no idea, but I'm just working my butt off to get out of New Bedford, basically, and to show people in New Bedford that you can make it. Um, and I'm meeting new kids every day, hoping that I can inspire them and get them to go somewhere too. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's next for me, but I just want to keep growing and keep building my game and just myself as a person. Um, I really just want to go far in life, whether it's overseas or in the WNBA. Yeah, I just want to keep building. That's it.
Megan, if you could give Lexi, I don't know, maybe some real important advice or something that could maybe, you know, carry her to go further, I think that would be great.
I think lean on your contacts. It's something that I've had to tell myself. Just sometimes you're prideful and you think, oh, I don't want to ask somebody for help, but lean on your contacts, and don't be afraid to reach out and be like, hey, I saw you on this show, would you be interested in looking at my videos, or would you be interested in doing anything or having me come on your show? Like,
Hmm.
definitely. I think there is, especially in the circle that I started working with, there's just kind of this mind frame that one of my producers said, and it has stuck with all of us really, is that there's enough for all of us to eat. And I think people you surround yourself with those people that have that same mentality as you, and just don't be afraid to ask. Put yourself out there.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. I try to.
You know,
I send my my YouTube channel to a lot of people
Hmm.
so they can watch. And I am gonna be posting a new workout video. I'm still working on it. It's a lot of footage. Um,
Man, editing is hard. I already know
oh
about
my
it.
gosh,
It's
it's
really hard.
crazy. Especially this little keyboard. I don't this little mouse thing. I need like a real mouse to help me, but it's getting
I,
there.
I'll
I
get you one.
just been
I'll get you one. I'll get you one. Whatever you
okay.
need, I'll get you. I got you. I got
Set
you.
yourself, like what I do is I usually set myself like one small goal a week. And just because I
Mhm.
have a million projects
A
going on,
lot to do.
I
Yeah.
have, yeah, like I have so many projects going on. It's like, okay, well, with my own, because, I'm trying to build my own brand with my show. And so it's like, I just tell myself, okay, set one small goal a week. And because you can't do it all, it's endless,
No.
So
Right.
you'll feel overwhelmed if you go to thinking about how much you need to do. So just
Hmm.
set one goal a week. Like, okay, I'm going to do this week,
Yeah.
and keep pushing that way.
Of
You
course.
know, I want to, of course, Lexi. What you don't know is Megan's very knowledgeable about the NBA as well, and that's my avenue. So I'm going to
Hmm.
pick your brain about that. Both you guys, for example. Now, Megan, Lexi and I live out here in New Bedford, which is Massachusetts bound, and the Boston Celtics made some very interesting moves
Mm,
yesterday.
Right.
What is your
yeah.
take upon them moves? I got my own take, but I want to hear what you guys gonna say.
I want to hear what you got to say too. Like,
Okay, no problem.
And so I think Danny Ainge has been thinking about this for a while. I think he's been thinking about, and I don't think it's a. I just think he needs something fresh in his career. I don't think it's anything to down the Celtics or anything like that. I think he just, okay, like Doc Rivers left the Clippers, and it seems like the Clippers are doing better, and it seems like Doc Rivers is doing better. And it's like neither one of them were really at fault. It just wasn't a good fit. And so they've had some
Mhm.
freshness in their career, and they're able to move on and do something else that's positive. And so I think that's probably where Danny's mind frame is. And as far as Brad Stevens, I think that you could see his exhaustion with coaching in the bubble. And so this year just kind of added to that. I don't think he was the problem in Boston. I think he was tired. And so moving to the front office is something that's going to be positive for him. I think the interesting part of this is who are they going to interview for head coach? Are they gonna call in my girl Becky?
That'd be good. That'd be good. What
I
do
that
you
feel
would.
think,
like
Lexi? Good, good.
I agree with. I no, I agree with Megan. They need a kind of little change in the whole Celtics organization. Um, and hopefully it'll be a positive, like she said. So I'm excited to see what happens and to see the new team next year and
Mhm.
all the changes they do because I think they really need it. They need structure basically because
A fresh start.
they need to get it
Okay.
they need to get it together. Yeah, yeah.
I
Now,
mean, well,
Basically,
they were
all
the
right.
that's it.
first franchise to have an African American coach. So how cool would it be
Hmm.
if they were the first one to have the first female head
Yes.
coach too?
Women's
Like
coach.
that would be so dope.
That would be dope. It would.
Okay.
They need that
Okay.
one
Now,
team got to do it for us
Right.
at least.
all right. Now, here's the con man's take. Now, I've heard all kind of Ainge guy, and that. Here's my take. I think it's very simple, very basic. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you know it, Megan. Danny Ainge just purchased land in Utah. Now, Danny Ainge went to school at BYU, which
Mhm.
is where? Utah.
Right.
Danny Ainge, my guess is he had enough and he wants to go back to Utah. I
I
don't
think so
think
too.
you can give me all I think he just wants to go back to Utah. Now, as far as Stevens is concerned, he still has 6 years left on his contract. And the Celtics are not just going to get rid of him because they're
No.
paying him.
Hmm.
That's my take on it. I'm not going to give all these innuendos. I think it's Purely simple. Danny Ainge couldn't stand the heat anymore, and he felt he had a hard time dealing with the kids, as he called them, and he wanted to go back to Utah. That's why he purchased the land, and that's why he's going. And Stevens, they're paying him over $7 million a year. They got to pay him.
Right.
That's my take on it. I think it's
I agree.
simple
I
as
definitely agree, but I think it
Yeah.
makes sense to why you remember when Roy retired from UNC and Brad Stevens was offered the job, he didn't take it. So I think this has kind of been in the works for a while, and we just weren't privy to it, you know.
now. I don't know how both you guys deal with the college game. I'm gonna go back to the NBA. We still got time. What do you think about Krzyzewski retiring?
What do you think about what?
Duke coach retirement. I have a hard time saying his damn name
Oh,
too.
right, Coach K.
Coach
Phenomenal.
K.
Yeah, phenomenal career. I hate Duke, but I partly hate Duke because they're so good, you know.
Yeah.
But he had a phenomenal career. He was a great
Mhm.
USA coach too. He was the national coach as well, and just Hall of Fame career. He's awesome.
He is.
What do you think, Lexi?
Same. He's a great coach. I actually have 2 of his books that I've been reading on.
Really,
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's an amazing coach.
I
So he
tend
had a
to agree with
good.
you both. Yeah,
Mm,
I tend to agree with you guys. But do you know something? I think it's timing, and I'll tell you why.
Hmm.
They have the transfer portal. I'm sure you're familiar with that,
right?
Megan. The
Mhm.
transfer portal, which has caused major problems in collegiate. Now, these high school players can go to the G League. They can go overseas.
mhm.
And right now, Lexi, you know whom one of my best friends are, former coach of DePaul University, Dave Lato, who has teamed up with Kevin Ollie, who was a former coach of UConn. And they have a program called the Elite that they're beginning this year, where they're going to be able to pay kids 16 to 18 years old $100,000. I truly believe that Coach K said, "Look, I'm not dealing with this. You know, I'm already dealing with the one and done. Now I got to deal with this." And I think he said, "No, hey, I'm all set." I think that's why, I think that, and the fact that he's been there a long time, he's been very successful. I just think he saw the writing on the wall. That's going to, what's upcoming, what's forthcoming, and he said, "I'm getting out now." That's my opinion. I don't know what you all think. That's my opinion.
Big changes coming to
Getting
the
back to the
NCAA. Big changes coming.
yes,
Yeah,
because they're going to have to. They're going to have to
they
make
have to.
adjustments. They're going to have
It's
to.
time. It's
They're going to have
time.
to.
It's a.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to down them, but I mean, the NCAA is not exactly the most upfront agency, you know, and people put in so much with them and don't get anything in return. Hardly. I don't think even if your school's paid for free, you're there and you have nothing because you can't work. You're dedicated to being an athlete. It's too much time.
Exactly.
So how do you eat?
Exactly.
Like they need to
Exactly.
be, and they make money off of their likenesses. So they definitely deserve some type of compensation because
I definitely.
it's your whole life to being an athlete. It absolutely is.
Yeah, and then if you
Is.
come from a poor home or something like that, you get the opportunity. Okay, I can go to school, struggle. Yeah, they're paying for my education, but
Right.
I'm struggling where I can go and help my family. So I mean, you got
Mhm.
it's a hard cross between.
It's
Now
iffy.
we got about 4 or 5 minutes left, and I want to talk about tonight's games.
Okay.
We have Denver at Portland tonight. What's your guys' take on the game tonight? We got Dollar Dame's going berserk,
Yo,
55
he's
and
going
losing.
crazy. Oh my gosh,
you
crazy.
know, but but
Both good
in a
teams though.
losing
Like
battle,
both good
I don't
teams.
think Portland
I
loses tonight. They're at home, and I just don't see them losing at home. Not this game. Now, I don't know if they make it out of this round, but I think they take this game.
mhm.
It's going to be a revenge game. Denver didn't look good in game one or game three, and but I mean they looked really good in the last game. But I think Dame probably went into that locker room and lit the fire under his help. Now, I don't know if they have enough to make it to the next round, but I think they make it through this game.
what do you think, Lexi?
Definitely same. That's a good series. It's a good matchup.
Mhm.
Both teams got a lot of weapons. Um, I don't know. I don't really care who wins those two games, but I just love watching it. Um, yeah, I watch it all day, literally. But I don't really care who wins, but
Just enjoy
yeah,
watching it.
they're both yeah, I just enjoy watching the game.
I, I hear you. I think that Portland they have the size now. I mean, they got to do
Yeah.
something with Jokic. They got to do something. I mean, he's the
It's
focus.
hard
He's
to
the
stop
key.
him though. You can't
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
hard.
But
Like what can
hey,
you really do against him, you know?
You
He's
uh,
can't.
just
You
I
have to shut down the
beast, man.
pieces around him. There is no
Yeah.
Joker. I think you have to
No.
put his help down because Joker. I mean, he's not going to drop 60 on you, but he can drop 40 on you. And what else he brings to that stat line, like his assists and his rebounds,
Assist.
that's
Yep.
what you got to change right there. Change his assists and keep
phenomenal.
his help from scoring, and then I think you change the game.
Mhm.
And then we got the game of all games, Phoenix at the Lakers. The Lakers right now going through some tough times right now. You know, they were considered to be the front runners, and they got the guy who keeps getting hurt all the time. What's your take on tonight's game?
Lakers getting put out tonight.
I
Oh,
agree.
oh,
I agree.
hey, oh.
Yep. Yep.
You really think so, huh?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I
I
don't.
Is
sure
that
do.
based on? Is that based on if AD plays or he doesn't, or does it matter?
I think they're tired.
Yep. And they're
Even if they
frustrated.
play, they're frustrated and they're half injured.
Mhm.
Tired.
Yep. I agree.
So you both are going. Okay,
And
we got.
the Suns are just coming in blazing.
Oh, and they're.
Like
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they're.
yeah, definitely.
like
Um,
and
I
their
don't know.
bench players are starting to develop. It's crazy. Like the
Do
way
we
they're
do
playing
we
is
have a
amazing.
yeah? Do we have an update on Chris Paul? Somebody said he's not playing tonight. I don't know. Do you have an update on that, Megan, at all?
I thought he was good to go, but I could. I mean, I could be wrong. Let me see.
That was the word out here. I'm not sure if he's going to
Yeah.
play or not. But the only other
I
series
mean,
I want
but
to bring up is
Payne
Dallas.
is doing his thing though. The
Yeah,
backup point guard.
absolutely.
Yeah, he's been doing this, and he's a lefty. Crazy, dangerous,
I know.
dangerous.
Nice.
I tell
Before
all my lefties
before
they're dangerous and don't even know it yet.
yeah.
Yep.
It says he will play.
Um.
Is the last of what I heard.
All he needs
Okay,
to do
great. We got one
if
more.
they played like they played the other day, he only has to play half of the game.
Right. No.
That's how I feel. Like they
Okay,
just need to come out
that's
how they played that way.
all right. One other series I got to bring up, and I want to hear what your take is the Clippers Dallas. What's your take on
Ooh.
that? Uh
Man.
oh. Uh oh.
Before last night's game, I would have said, the Clippers got it in the bag, but man, they dropped the ball last night. So
Last night they sure did.
they really did. So
Mhm.
you know what? I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, because they're both good teams too, and they both got a lot of weapons also.
Mhm.
But it's like I feel like it's who comes out blazing in the first half. I feel like that's how you're gonna win the rest of the game. And if you stay on that path,
And Luca is playing out of his mind. That guy is
oh my
phenomenal.
God, crazy.
I don't know.
42 points last night, he had by the end of the third, he had 40 points and 10 assists already. It was just crazy.
Crazy. At the third quarter, like what? What? I wish.
Definitely.
Well, unfortunately, I could talk to
Maybe
you
one
guys
day.
all night. Hey, I could talk to you guys all night, but unfortunately, we have to go. I want to thank both you guys for coming on my show. I'm going to ask you guys to come on again
Definitely.
very soon.
Definitely.
And again, I appreciate it. Megan, for those of you, just to end it on a good note, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook, Megan Price. I add pretty much anybody, or you can follow me. All my sports posts are public anyway, so if you don't want to add me as a friend, you can still follow my sports posts. You can find me on Sideline Sports Network on YouTube, and you can also find me on 806 Sports. If you're local here, it's 1440 AM or 806 Sports on Facebook also.
Awesome. Lexi, what's going on with you now? You started practice yet, and you're ready to go to Cape Verde Islands. Am I right?
Yep, we leave in 2 weeks to go to Cape Verde. My games are the 27th, the 26th and the 27th. The games will be live on YouTube, so I'll be posting them everywhere. So you guys can
Awesome.
watch.
Awesome.
Hopefully tune in.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. This is a qualification game for us to go to the FIBA tournament in September. So we have to win. We have to win. But
Well,
I'm very
awesome,
excited to
guys.
play. So
I am too. I can't. I'm looking forward to watching it on YouTube. You guys, I
mhm.
want to thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank
I
you
got
for
to wrap
having
it up.
me.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the Conn Man Sports Corner Live, Blackjack TV. You all have a good night. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Thank you all.
Thank you.